puts the whole blame on Uhuru Kenyatta. So this whole thing is a huge international politics and is unraveling lots of things. And United Nations is also there putting pressure, has given ultimatum to Kenya and Nigeria on NNAMDI KANU'S matter. And now the Kenyan government has decided to send delegates to put an end to NNAMDI KANU'S trial and also to bring to justice the Nigerian government to tell them what is going on ground right now.
Wow, wow, wow. This is a very good welcome development. UN, United Nations, putting pressure on Kenyan and Nigerian governments on how to release Nnamdi Kanu quick and today, in fact, fast and steady, putting pressure on them. This is something they should have done for a long time because they are saying that Nnamdi Kanu, he has not committed any crime. So all those things they have been putting him, holding him all those while, without any proper judgment, without winning anything, because everyday trial, it is not it cannot solve any problem and it cannot hold anything. So as for now, the Kenyan government, they have seen that it is a mixed up game to them, what Nigerian did to their place. So it is a very, very mixed up. Even though the person said that did that this atrocity, it has gone. It has gone. So the best way for now for Tinubu, the best way for Tinubu is for him to release Nnamdi Kanu and let him be free. So the next step is for them to talk about referendum. If Nigeria can have a good referendum and if Nigeria can sit as one country, not to be forcing people to stay together in your country, in a country which they don't want to stay. So all those issue of booming here and there is not going to solve the problem. So we are so much love these reports. UN putting pressure on the Kenyan and Nigerian government to make sure that Nnamdi Kanu is being released. I know that they will keep on with their speech and they will keep on moving this way because had they been there followed this way for a long time, I believe that Nnamdi Kanu would have been released by now. Well, my people, I would like you to watch the video to the end. This Biafran activist, he really explained a lot and he really do so many because I would say they are part of those that is within the corridor of power. They know what is going on and what is coming out. I would like you to watch the video to the end. Try to subscribe, like and share to everyone. So as you're watching, try to comment and keep your comment below. Try to understand and to know your view, what is going on within.
This is like a breaking news. This news is about Nnamdi Kanu and is coming from my Kenyan source because ever since this case has been going on and once that revelations was made about the Kenyan court's intervention in this whole thing, I have been in touch with lots of sources. I reached out to a lot of sources in the Kenyan circle, in the media and in their press to know more about what has been happening inside. And I will tell you authoritatively that the Kenyan government is sending delegates to Nigeria for the release of Nnamdi Kanu and also to see how they are going to solve this international crisis that has happened between the country. This is because President Ruto of Kenya right now is under pressure. In fact, he is suffering the consequences of what Uhuru Kenyatta did, because now United Nations and international bodies have touched their searchlight on Kenya because that was where the whole thing happened, for opening their country to such kidnap and criminal activity to allow Nigerian government to come to their country. So Kenya is really receiving a lot of flack and cane for this whole matter, and that is making President Ruto now to be under pressure. He's desperate, looking for how he's going to drag Nigeria into this whole matter. And also, he is sending a 5-man delegate. He is sending delegates to Nigeria, in fact, that will be in the country before the 18th of July. And these delegates have one mission. I'm going to read out this whole article from my Kenyan sources, and you will be amazed at what is going on aside this Nnamdi Kanu issue. You can see the way they hurriedly want to cover up this Buhari issue. You can see that there is a desperation on the side of Nigeria to cover up because already something is happening. And these whole events that are happening is pointing directly to the same issue. There is fire on the mountain. And Kenya is prepared to wash his hand off it, and also the other way, try to see how they and Nigeria, who is their co-partners in crime, resolve this matter by getting Nnamdi Kanu out and also find a way to cover up for their international mess. You also know that in Kenya, President Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta, which is the one that left before him, they are not in good terms at all. And Ruto himself is trying to drag Kenyatta to come and face consequence for his action that he did, because Ruto is facing lots of protests in his country and is trying his best to stand firm because his tenure is being dragged to the mud, and he also puts the whole blame on Uhuru Kenyatta. So this whole thing is a huge international politics and is unraveling lots of things, and United Nations is also there putting pressure, has given ultimatum to Kenya and Nigeria on Nnamdi Kanu's matter. And now the Kenyan government has decided to send delegates to put an end to Nnamdi Kanu's trial and also to bring to justice Nigerian government to tell them what is going on ground right now. Let me read out the excerpts from my source in Kenya, who I have been in touch with for Nnamdi Kanu's matter that happened in Kenya. He wrote, in a move that has sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles in Africa and beyond, a 5-man presidential delegation from Kenya will land in Abuja this week. Their mission is clear, urgent, and politically explosive: to secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu before his court appearance on July 18th, 2025. Listen. This delegation is led by Justice Minister Martha Koome and top foreign affairs diplomat Fred Matiang'i. The team will be dispatched directly by the President William Ruto under mounting pressure from United Nations and internal protests shaking his presidency. This move is about saving Kenya from international disgrace and William Ruto's attempts to sever himself from the crimes of former President Uhuru Kenyatta, whose regime secretly approved KANU'S illegal abduction and rendition from Nairobi in 2021 June. A senior diplomatic source in Nairobi confirmed to the Africa Report. He said, Ruto is done. Ruto is done covering up for Uhuru Kenyatta. The UN has threatened to open full files. Kenya has already been exposed by its own court. Nigeria now must release Nnamdi Kanu or we will all go down. Now, on July 1st, 2025, the United Nations Human Rights Council issued a 30-day ultimatum to the government of Kenya. What is their demand? 1. A full disclosure of all state actors involved in Nnamdi Kanu's abduction. 2. Immediate cooperation with reparative efforts. And 3. The release of Nnamdi Kanu and also concrete action on the events that happened. A leaked memo from the UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights stated, Kenya's continued silence on this matter mounts to obstruction. Failure to comply will result in an inquiry under the UN Special Procedure mandate. Nigeria's role will also be brought under scrutiny. A Kenyan court has already given Nnamdi Kanu victory. The ruling declared Nnamdi Kanu's rendition as unconstitutional, unlawful, and a violation of international human rights treaties to which Kenya is a signatory. That verdict officially acknowledged Kenya's complicity, breaking the silence and laying all blame bare. Now, Ruto is racing against time, trying to repair diplomatic fallout before it consumes his government and permanently stains Kenya's international image. At home, President Ruto is battling massive youth-led protests, with his presidency on life support after the July 2nd, 2025 storming of Parliament's building in Nairobi. The political temperature is boiling. Ruto's opponents are calling him a puppet of the West, while many young Kenyans accuse his government of betraying its promises of transparency and justice. Bringing NNAMDI Kanu's case to a just resolution, sources say, is Ruto's way of reclaiming moral ground and also humiliating Uhuru Kenyatta, whose administration initiated the secret deal with Nigerian authorities in 2021 and may also be responsible for the uprising he's facing in his country. Now, the Kenyan delegation has already been in contact earlier on with the Nigerian counterpart, and it's made its position known. He said, Kenya has officially acknowledged its role, declared damages to be paid, and accepted the judgment of its court. Nigeria must now do the right thing. Don't let this escalate into a regional and international crisis. The delegation is pressing for the release of NNAMDI Kanu before July 18th, when Kanu's no-case submission will be decided at the Federal High Court, Abuja. Kanu has already won on multiple landmark victories. Remember, on October 13th, 2022, the Court of Appeal, Abuja, discharged and acquitted him of terrorism charges. On October 2022, again, a High Court Numa here declared the 2021 arrest illegal and unconstitutional. And then on June 2025, the Nairobi High Court ruled liable for abduction, awarded Kanu compensation. Yet, despite these judgments, NNAMDI Kanu still remains in solitary detention under DSS custody, sparking international outcry and accusations of lawlessness. So now the world is watching. If Nigeria releases Kanu, Ruto and Kenya will be free, and Ruto definitely will score a political strong point, and the UN will back off his country, back off his government, and Kenya can now move forward. But if Nigeria refuses, both countries will be dragged before United Nations Human Rights Committee. More lawsuits will emerge, and the African Commission on Human and People's Rights sanctions will follow immediately. So in the next 48 hours, the delegation will land in Abuja to finalize the release of NNAMDI Kanu and further discussions on how to remove the coming sanctions from United Nations, African Union with the Nigerian government. The two countries are partners in crime, and therefore they are partners in the way forward of whatever will happen to them. As you can see, the Kenyans are not happy at all. They are not playing this whole matter. They are taking it more serious than even Nigerian government, and that is why the president himself has made this move. They feel as if their country was exploited. They were used, they were defiled, by Nigerian government, of course, and their billions of dollars and oil money they used to do this whole thing. And of course, they also blame Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president, for allowing this kind of mess to happen in the country. And Ruto himself, the current president, is willing to do anything, anything, to remove this load on his back. And even if it means dragging the former president Kenyatta to the mud, he will do it. And that is why he is arranging this whole thing, this whole delegation, to put an end to this matter. Because when the court ruled in Kenya, he expected that the Nigerian government will immediately understand the writing on the wall and also repeat the same within 24 hours. And that was why I said here that Motosho need to call an emergency session, because the Kenyan court there is like the Kenyan government is sending a signal to Nigeria. Look, this matter is getting out of hand. We have ended it in our country. End it in your own country so that this whole mess will end. The Nigerian government did not understand right now the war. They did not understand because of bigotry and hatred. They don't understand. This was a clear opportunity for them to end this matter themselves. Call yourselves to order. But instead, they rather chose to end the Buhari movie. And that is why they are running up and down, trying to let Jibril go. So that, because of this whole problem coming now, so that it will not backfire on them. I don't want to talk about Buhari. But definitely, the Nigerian government failed to do the needful as at that time in June when Kenyan courts, ruled in favor of KANU. And now, the ball is now in the court because in the next 24 hours or 48 hours thereabout, it's not going to be funny at all. Lots of things are going to be unveiled and revealed, and I want all of us to stay tuned to it because there is fire on the mountain. And definitely it's going to consume a lot of people. A lot of people. Even if they have ended up removing Jibril, Jibril alone did not act himself. Lots of people will still will be brought to book by this whole matter. And of course, they think that by removing Jibril, that it will stop the efforts being, or slow the efforts being made already by the Kenyan government. But already, the Kenyan government have already sent a delegation already. I'm sure they might even be in Abuja as we speak right now. And they are going to do everything possible to make sure that KANU comes out, and also this whole matter will be addressed and the proper thing is done. This is a victory for Biafrans around the world, a victory also for Igbo. But we'll keep on watching to see, because injustice is injustice anywhere around the world. NNAMDI KANU has spent lots of his productive years in the dungeon. The time is supposed to use to do his own personal businesses, raise his family, his son, have more children, of course, because I'm sure by now he would have had like 2 or 3 more kids. It's being wasted like this. And that is why I want to encourage Igbo. Let your love for NNAMDI KANU never cease. Let your love even increase. Let your doubt for NNAMDI KANU disappear. Because what greater love can a man ever give you than giving you his own life, his own self? NNAMDI KANU has given us his life. Yes, his life, his years. He would have had like 3 or 4 kids by now, but still decided to abandon it all for the greater cause. And that greater cause definitely will come when all of us play a part together in ensuring that the light of Biafra keeps holding strong. I see a lot of encouraging comments in the comment section. I really appreciate all the wonderful comments you write for me. I appreciate the care. I appreciate the concern you also have for me. I also appreciate the encouragement I receive, that it helps me to know that yes, I am on the right path. And definitely a lot of you, thousands of you appreciate everything I do here. I do not take it for granted. Thank you very much for the likes. Thank you very much for the subscription, for the follows. Thank you very much also for turning on the notifications and clicking on the bell that says all, particularly, so that you get updated whenever we drop a video.
Thanks for tuning in to Smart Okoson TV show. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share to keep the intellect flowing.